We went through Salah, the Fara'id, Wajibat, and then we are going back on the Salah to discuss the things which are minor things. They either are mustahabbat, some of them are sunan. If they are done, they do not, if they are left out, they don't ruin your Salah. Some of these issues are discussed so much you would think they are the most important things in Salah because they are more visible. For example, raising, which what we are discussing today, how the hand should be in Tashahhud sitting, and how to raise a finger and how to do the ishara, to move it, not to move it. And I try not to be biased, but there is always a human bias, because if I like something, maybe I'll emphasize more on it. Before we even start to understand this issue with Tashahhud, all ulama agree. If someone didn't do it intentionally, he didn't raise his hand, finger, or the ishara, he didn't do it intentionally, his salah is not affected. He doesn't have to do sajda sahu. Whether he left intentionally, forgetfully, is one of those things in salah. But you do everything as a Muslim which you think gets you closer to the salah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why it's discussed. And it's more visible, because if you come from an area where one thing is always done and you go to a country like England and everyone's doing something different, it freaks you out. Because what they're doing, then you start questioning your salah, am I doing everything else right? So it needs to be discussed for the sake of knowledge, but not for the sake of debating and arguing with others. There are many things we can discuss in this issue, okay? And there are many views of scholars. I'll try to touch on everything I can in an hour. One of the view is not do nothing. You sit for tashahhud, don't raise your finger, do nothing. That's one view. Another view is to keep the hands flat, but to just do ishara with one finger. Yeah? Well, the nail of this is called sababa. Sababa, the index finger, is pointing upwards. Okay. Another view is to hold two khinsar binsar, the two pinky fingers and what's next to it, two fingers, and then make a circle with these two. That's one way. Third is to hold all three of them and then keep the thumb with the finger or attached to the middle finger, or like this. These all views, they exist and they are from hadith. These three. The first two, we will discuss them. Another view is to keep these three together, these two, the three fingers folded, sababa and thumb together, and then have it bent sideways. So there are two views of ishara. If the people who do move it, so one is to do ishara without moving the finger, and one is meaning just to do ishara, that's it. The other is do ishara and then move the finger slightly up and down, and when you bend it slightly sideways. Some say no, it's sideways, or some have made it together, it becomes like a circle. Okay. When do you start? As soon as you sit for tashahhud, is this when I start making the ishara? Or do I reach a certain place and then when I start doing the ishara? Once I've done the ishara, do I bring the finger back down or leave it there? Or does it continue until salam? Do I keep moving it? Do I not move it? All these things are part of this subject we want to discuss. And also from the sunnah is to look at your finger, which we will discuss as well. There are many ahadith we can look at. The main two ahadith, we look at few ahadith, but the hadith of Abdullah bin Zubair and hadith of Wa'il bin Hujr. These two, the hadith, they become the core hadith for discussing this subject. But I'll go through some of the hadith which I think are the most important, and at the end we will be able to give our view and what the four madhahib say and the other scholars they have said on this.